Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you are right now. I'm glad that you're here. Today's a little different than some of the past videos I've done, but still along the lines of calling out pornography, calling out porn producers, directors, all those kinds of things, but calling them out and then talking about sex education. But if you have Netflix, you've undoubtedly heard of a docuseries or a documentary film called Hot Girls Wanted. And the main subject of that is none other than Riley Reynolds. He's an amateur porn agent, and it's very disturbing. The guy makes claims, and I mean, it's not really a claim, it's a fact, but it's creepy to hear it coming out of a adult's mouth, or somebody who prides themselves on being a man. One of his most famous quotes of that whole thing is, "Every day a girl turns 18. And I'm just going to pause for a second right there, because how is this guy not in jail? The dude preys on young women. And it's not like, I guarantee he doesn't wait until they turn 18. He's probably looking at them when they're 16, 17 years old. And then as soon as they turn 18, he's like, hey, you want to make a lot of money? Why don't you come sign with me? Listen, women, young men who are out there considering porn as a career. Porn is not a career. You might make a lot of money, but odds are you won't. And that's just the reality of it. You're not guaranteed to make thousands of dollars per film. You're not guaranteed to, make over $500,000 in a year, or whatever it is that you think that these guys make. It's not going to happen. You're being lied to from the very second you start talking to these agents, because that's their job. Their job is to get you to sign. Their job is to get you to star in movies. But is it worth your self-image? I watched a very disturbing video on Facebook today of these 3 girls who got into pornography, and they all had the same thing in common. They all talked about how they had been exposed to pornography at a young age. Now, they didn't say what the age was, but most people, or children, I should say, are being exposed by the age of 10, but there are kids as young as 8 being exposed. That's a problem. That's a problem. The problem is, we've relied on technology for our kids. Some of us, not all of us. I'm not going to lump all parents into one category. There are some parents who believe it's okay for their 9 or 10-year-old to have a smartphone. Why does your kid have a smartphone? I have a daughter who's well older, and she doesn't even have a smartphone. It's outrageous. These kids have unlimited access at their fingertips because some parents don't want to parent their kid. They want an electronic to do it for them. It's not a phone. It's not a TV. It's not a computer. It's not a tablet. It's not a video game console's job to parent your kid. It is your job to parent your kid. That's why you are called a parent. And some parents need to step up and do their jobs. Or else you're going to wind up with kids like these 3 girls who sold themselves out and sold out their self-image to go do pornography because of what they saw online. It's insane. It's absolutely nuts. But who are we going to blame? Sure, we can blame parents. I mean, ultimately, you have the largest role in your child's education, but we all know it's going to come back to the education system. And it's all going to come back to the lack of sexual education actually being taught. I don't know what that's like anymore. I'm sure that there are kids out there who would probably see this video and be able to share what it's like, but if we're not teaching our kids about what sex is, yes, 100% they're going to turn to pornography. And yes, 100% of the time, that is going to be their first perception of what sex is. But that doesn't mean every kid's going to fall into an addiction or every kid's going to go start, producing porn when they turn 18 years old. But the reality of it is that there's 92% of kids who are being exposed before the age of 18. That's just not okay. We have a duty to our kids. Our kids don't need to watch that stuff. Our kids don't need to see that crap. It's uncalled for. It's not necessary. So we can blame the school system for not teaching sex education. But why is it the school's job to do what you should be doing at home? That's your job. You're a parent. It's your job to teach your kids about sex. What healthy sex looks like. Healthy sex is not pornography. But these guys like Riley Reynolds, they prey on that. They're hoping you got exposed early. They're hoping your kid got exposed early. Because it's just easier to corrupt them. It's easier to manipulate them. It's easy for them to get their hooks in. And I'm going to tell you, they don't want to let the hook go as soon as they got your kid. They will do everything they can to try to keep them there. It's no wonder why Riley Reynolds got sued by a former client of his. I guess that's what they call them. They call them clients. It's no wonder why he got sued. Porn doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about how you feel. It doesn't care about how you think. All it cares about is the money you're going to put in their pocket. How can they exploit you just a little more? How can they take every shred of dignity from you when you star in their films? The bottom line is, you don't know what's on there. You don't know what's on Pornhub. There's been so many studies that have just come out and so many articles that have come out that there are rape videos on Pornhub. There's sexual assaults on Pornhub. There are minor sex videos on Pornhub. But yet somehow this site just keeps amassing growth each and every day. And yeah, it makes me frustrated. And yeah, it upsets me. Because somebody's kid is on the internet being raped or underage. Yeah, it makes me mad. But here's the thing. When you call out a porn producer on social media, they don't like it. And I don't care. I called out Mr. Reynolds yesterday multiple times. I mentioned exploitation of females. Porn companies are chickens. They will run and they will tuck their tail like a dog who just got disciplined. And that's exactly what he did. He can't respond because he has nothing to come back with. He knows exactly what he's doing. But obviously no criminal is dumb enough to incriminate themselves. So he blocks me. That's cool. Bro, he probably took down the comments. He's probably trying to reestablish his self-image. Man, you're a con artist. You're a creep who preys on kids and then exploits them as soon as they turn 18 years old. Dude, you're not a man. That's wrong. That's not okay. It's not okay. Parents, we got to do a better job. We've got to be there for our kids all the time. Our kids should be comfortable coming to us at any single time. Don't shy away from the sex talk with your kids. Have that talk. There's a lot of this talent in porn. And the only reason they turn to it is because they didn't get sex ed in school. They didn't get sex ed at home. They learned it by watching porn. And they were like, yeah, you know what? That's what sex is. So I'm going to go make that money. They all have one thing in common. They've all been promised, I'll make you a star. You'll make a ton of money. Yo, you got to do some pretty downright disgusting acts to make money in porn. Is that really what you want your life to be? Because it's not the life I want for you. And I don't think your parents want that life for you. I don't think anybody in your family wants that life for you. We need to wake up. We need to start speaking out against pornography. Start speaking out against these producers. Start speaking out against these directors. Start speaking out against these film companies. This is garbage. And my trash day is on Thursday. So who wants to join me and take out the trash?